Hello, my name is Oakanza Alfred. Have you realized that when it comes to having children, there are all sorts of possibilities on how a child is conceived? One, you could plan and plan for months to have a child and still not get one. Two, it could be an oops, and then you find yourself right in the middle there. Today, we're going to talk about the art of the startup and relate it to having a child. When we speak about businesses, there's a lot of people who say, that's your baby. And in the literal sense, starting a business is like having a child. You can want it badly and take years trying to do the startup, but it could take longer than you want to. Or you could not be looking to do a business, see an opportunity lying there, and you land yourself in the middle of a business. And being in business is like having children in a lot of ways. One, you need the community to help you with a child. It doesn't take one person to raise a child. Same with business. You need people, you need support, you need people helping you with your work, and you also need people from outside to help you grow your business. Every business person needs some sort of a mentor. And a mentor is the same as talking to people who are more experienced, who have had their fair share of experiences about having children, grow you towards being comfortable as the new parent. Same as a business. You need mentors who can advise you every step of the way. And what I come to do is do that for a lot of people through my consultancy. A lot of things that have to do with children are sort of trial and error. Every time you put your best in there, and you can only hope that they turn out to be right. Just as much as a business, you give it your all and you hope that the best thing comes out of it. You never really know how the public is going to take it until you have tested the waters. So really, in a lot of ways, starting a business is like having children. I am here and I'm open to asking you the right sort of questions to ask yourself about starting your business. A lot of the time, people start businesses, but they don't know which questions to ask themselves and which questions they would need to answer for them to see if the business is worthy or is viable. One of the questions that I advise people to always ask themselves is there a need for this? What problem are you trying to solve? There are a lot of questions. Who is your target market? How are you reaching your audience? What we do with consultancy is we ask you those big questions that will help you solidify your plan. We also help you answer some of those questions if you are unable to. Some of the questions you have to ask yourself are, where exactly are you going to get your raw materials? And beyond that, the laws that will regulate your type of business and what you need to do to comply. Some people focus so much on the product and getting it here to the consumer before they even find out if it's legal to have such a product on the market, or even the regulations that they would need to abide by in terms of the legalities of having the product on the market. So really, you do need guidance from the very beginning. One of the topics I want to talk about is the two P's. I call them the two P's. And that's passion versus profit. I know a lot of people might disagree with me on this one, but for me, I always go for the profit. There are some people who are always following their passion, and their passion says, do this. They don't even check if this is viable or anything. As long as they're doing their passion, then they're happy. Running a business with just passion without profits will lead you to the ground. So a lot of it has to do with profit. There are few people who are lucky enough to do a profitable business that is in line with their passion. But you have to be really careful about being overly obsessed with what you're passionate about before looking into whether it really makes sense. I have spoken to a lot of youth through the seminars that I do, and most of them tend to say, I would like to quit school so that I start my business. That always baffles me. Continuing with school doesn't get in the way of you starting a business. For one, I believe for you to be a good business person, you need to be able to finish what you started. So if you are halfway through school and you're thinking of quitting and starting a business, thinking that the road to a business is easy, you have one thing you're going to get shocked about. It's tough. The road is thorny, but with help from people like me, you'll be able to reach your goals. One other thing is the best time to start a business is when you're young. Right after school, you don't have any responsibilities. You don't have children. You don't have debt. You don't have a family to take care of. That's the best time to start a business, because starting a business at first is the broke life. And when you have children and when you have responsibilities, you cannot afford not to put food on the table. So it makes things even harder for you to start a business. If you already past that stage, don't get me wrong, it's never too late. The right time is right now. But for those who are coming up, who are young, immediately after you finish school, that's the right time to start a business. That's how I did it. And here I am still standing. The thing about being a startup is a lot of it has to do with being broke for a couple of years. If you're not ready to be broke, then you're not ready to be in business. Being in business is about adjusting your lifestyle. You cannot start a business and be flashy, fancy, and all of that. That will mean you're taking money away from your business. And what you need to do is grow your business first. Your business could be making a little bit of money, but don't be tempted to take it away and splurge it on yourself. Obviously, there are social pressures. You will see your mates getting jobs, getting car loans, and getting mortgages, and you'll feel the pressure to buy the fancy car. But that would take away from your vision. So don't follow the crowd. If anything, remove yourself from the crowd and follow people who have a similar vision as you do. Like they say, we are like our friends. So if you're in your face of the flashy and I'm cutting down, the best thing to do is for me to remove myself from you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's another thing, which I think is a big problem for us in Botswana. Most people who start businesses start them with the idea that their friends and family are going to support them. If you open a business solely that your customers are your family and friends, guess what? You're not in business. Business is about clients everywhere, and mainly people who buy your product because they see value in it. While we like support from family, I mean, I don't want you to have that syndrome of they don't support me. Do away with that. Nobody owes you anything. From the start of my business, over a decade ago, you would not believe that I can count on one hand the amount of people I know who bought my services. But we're still here, we're standing strong. So one of the things that you need to let go of is support or demanding support from the people around you. There's something validating about strangers being drawn into your product, because that gives you confidence to know that this is necessary and you're actually solving a real problem. And that people are doing it because they need the service, not because they're trying to help you. Another thing about starting a business and being a startup is when you first begin, there's a lot of doubt. There is a lot of anxiety. Once you've put in your product there and it's finished, you start worrying about, what if they don't buy it? What if this? What if that? What if this? And it takes a toll on you because you wouldn't have done your checks from the beginning. What I want to do for you is to provide you with those checklists so that when you have your product, you're not now just thinking about, what if they don't buy it? You would have asked yourself the right questions. I would have given you the necessary tools to ask yourself, is this product needed in the market? Like they say, be the first or be the best. So you need to come up with something that sets your business apart from what is already there on the market. If you're the first, then perfect. But you're not going to be the first for long. If you come after somebody else, you have to ask yourself, what can I do differently? What can I do to improve on what is already on the market? Then you would have less problems about worrying about, what if they don't buy it? How do you invest in a product that you're not sure people are going to buy? Basically, what we're saying is, there's a lot that entails starting a business or starting anything for that matter. And the best way to go about it is get help from someone like me, someone more experienced, someone who has started a few things and they have held on for time. So the reason I'm doing this really is to offer my help in a way such that people don't have to learn through the experiences like I do. You could just come to somebody and say, what do I need to ask myself about this product? I have this product. And then I could just lay it down to you. And together, we can ask ourselves the necessary questions and make sure that the product you put out there is the best product for the market, and if there is a need for that. One other thing is learning that your passion should always be something that will make you profit. There's nothing wrong with being passionate about something, but it makes no sense if you're just passionate about it and it ends up not making you profit. The other thing that we've touched on is the importance of targeting a specific market for your product that excludes your family and your friends. The importance of not having the they don't support me syndrome. That way, that's when we can start calling your business a real business, because that would mean there is actually a need you are truly trying to solve a specific problem within the community. It's important for me to share with you how I came up with Strive for Impact. When I started the service business, I worked with a young lady, my personal assistant, and she noticed that every conversation we had, I would keep saying, is this impactful? Is this going to be impactful? Whatever it was, even if it was a product that we were working on, or it was a corporate social responsibility thing, I would ask her, is this going to be impactful? Does it have an impact on our customer? That's when she realized that this is who I am. And since then, I've run with that slogan for striving for impact. Impact can be positive or negative, but rest assured, every day you have an opportunity to have an impact in somebody's life, be it negative or positive. I choose positivity. And I am proud that in a way, I have been able to positively impact a lot of people's lives. There are a lot of people who are in the property development business because they saw me do it and they could see that this is possible. And there are a lot of people who I have gone through seeing potential in them with the way that they are who they are. And I would then ask for a product that they don't offer, just to show them that they could literally turn what they're doing into a business. That for me is impacting someone's life positively. Impact changes the people around you, changes communities, and this is why impact is such a big deal in my life. There is so much more that I could talk about when it comes to a startup, but that would take the whole day and I'm on pay time. So if you're looking to learn more or you need help with your business, you know who to call.